First on the agenda, we'd like to open the public hearing regarding application for Contento Auto Sales for a junkyard license. And I'm gonna turn it over to Bob.
Okay, thanks. Right, so like Dan said, this is an application under chapter 303 of our junkyard law for a license to operate what's currently known as the Lance Junkyard. And so what this is not a zoning issue. So the property is already grandfathered under the zoning code for the use that is being dictated or being used for right now, okay? The junkyard. It's a license. In the town of Maine, we have an additional layer of review called a junkyard license that every owner of a junkyard needs to obtain. That junkyard license is not transferable to the new applicant. So unlike the land use, which does run with the land, it transfers to the new owner, the license itself does not transfer. So that's why they've come in, they've applied for a new license. There are some limitations on our review. So for example, when you have an established junkyard, we're not reviewing the location of the junkyard. That's already been deemed, because it's an established junkyard, it's already been deemed to be adequate. But they do need to satisfy all the other requirements for a junkyard license. So that's what we're doing here tonight, and can open the public hearing and maybe have the applicant make a statement. Want to do that?
Yep, that's fine.
You want me to stand anywhere? You want me to just go anywhere? Or you're fine? I'm Fran Casulo. I'm the attorney for Contento Auto Sales Inc. I'm here with Jerry Contento, Anthony Contento, and Loretta Berkeley. We're here to answer any questions. I think we will be, the Contentos will be a very good neighbor. I think we've already made steps to try to clean things up, and I think we've also provided all the information that the town has required. But again, we're here hopeful that the application will be passed and that we can move forward with the closing and be good neighbors in the town of Maine. I think if you looked at the Contento Auto Sales facility up in Cortland, you will see that it's run very, very well, very properly, and they're very well-respected business leaders in the Cortland community. And once again, we're here to answer any questions that may be asked of us. Thank you.
Yeah, you can turn it over to public comment. If anybody wishes to speak, we got, you're limited to 3 minutes, and yes, sir.
Hi, I'm James Hendrick. I'm 135 Turner Road and 151 Turner Road. I was a neighbor of the flat where a lot of cars were over the past few years. And I've talked to you guys before and was told that, tried to get the codes brought up, but the lawyer said they were grandfathered in, which they weren't. So now if they get granted a new license, do they have to do the codes, the fence and all, everything that's in the, and is that your plan to fence off any cars?
Yeah, so the fencing, there's a provision in the code that requires anyone applying for a new junkyard license to fence their property completely. That doesn't apply strictly to established junkyards. The town board has the right to modify the fencing requirement if circumstances warrant, such as the topography and let's see, I'm just looking here, topography, natural growth, timber, and other considerations. So in the past, this issue has come up, and the town board has modified the fencing requirements because it's an established junkyard and the topography didn't warrant complete fencing around the entire junkyard. So that's how we've treated this under the previous owner. And the town board tonight needs to decide whether to continue that, which I think, in order to be consistent, I think that's a reasonable way to go, but those are decisions by the town board tonight.
Well, present myself to the town people that you don't grant it unless they enclose and keep it contained. I've been there since 1968. I've had high water many times, many car parks come down, park in my yard, empty EC there, trying to get it cleaned up, but it's another, no ending fight, and I'm probably the only one here that's gonna complain, but, it is my neighbor, I'm at Flat Park, so if you, I don't know where you're putting cars, but, and if it's actual junkyard, or if it's gonna be auto sales, get a different, I don't know if that's the same thing, cause it's listed as auto sales, but you're actually bringing junk cars in and selling parts.
Yes. It's very similar.
Is it okay for Mr. Catano to respond?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would listen to any suggestions you might have. That's all I can tell you. All right?
So if I have a complaint, I can come see you.
You can always complain.
I know, I have many a time.
We're in America.
That's what neighbors do, is go to each other and try to figure things out.
If we
instead of
can, we
being-
will. It's an easy solution, okay?
So I'll also just note for the record, there's a 1966 Attorney General opinion where the Attorney General said that fencing requirements are inapplicable where the owner is using an established junkyard and imposing the fencing requirements would unreasonably restrict their use of the junkyard. So that's something that we've looked at in the past as well.
Can I make another comment or not? I mean, down on the flat, they got the creek there also, so it seems like if they could put a fence around the creek, so the stuff doesn't get washed into the creek, that would benefit everybody.
Any other comments?
The stuff gets washed down from all up above into all of us.
Yeah, I understand that, the AC told me that no matter where it comes from, they can't explain where it comes from.
Are there any other comments?
Yeah, I have one. I also, up with Lance's, and when Lance's was just a repair shop, we had junk all over. If there's not a house, they dump their junk. Now they take it to Lance's, they take it to Lance's. They're not gonna take it to the landfill and pay for it, or they're not gonna take it all the way to Wego. So they take it to Lance's. We have junk washed on our creek too, and when the water comes up, the fence is gonna be gone anyway. So, I say, leave Lance's as it is. It's an asset to our community, they employ people, they're good neighbors, and I have no complaints. I say let it go, and I think the town board should approve it.
Nancy, what number are you on, Tyona?
282.
And you said you were 150?
135 and 151.
I also, I'm on K Road, I border on the other side, and we've had just junk dropped all over the place. Washers, dryers, everything, when they started taking in all the scrap and paying for it, that all went away. Like, K Road is cleaner than it's ever been because of that. We border a lot of property with them, they've been great neighbors. You know, as far as the flooding, Jim, I understand your thing, you got, you're getting washed down, but I get stuff washed down in my creek from the reservoir and from the upper part of the creek, but I know if I've ever had any problems, I talk to Don and he comes right down and cleans the stuff up, and I'm sure they got no problem with that, but you got logs washing into the power station down here, and, you know, that's, nobody does anything about it, it's a business, and it's a freak thing that we get floods like that.
Any other comments? And, move to close the public hearing. So we're gonna close the public hearing. You need a motion to, vote on the
Well,
license.
so before we vote on it, we've gotta do a officer review. Okay.
That was
So this is the, environmental review to determine whether there are significant adverse environmental impacts as a result of the application. So the applicant has filled out part one of the short environmental assessment form. You guys have all received that. This was emailed
Okay,
to
which,
you.
okay, separate from the, this was a separate email,
I
right?
think it was separate from the application, yes.
Okay.
But it's part of the application. So it's the town board's job to review parts 2 and 3 of the seeker form. So I'll go through the questions, and if you guys wanna give us answers, okay? Everyone have it in front of them, or? I'll give you a minute.
Okay, I'm good.
You good?
Yep.
Art, you good?
Yeah, just looking up, I got the other stuff you sent on
I got
September
one right
second.
here if you wanna look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't in my attachment. Oh, wait a minute, never mind, I got it, you keep that, I got it right here.
Okay. So you'll see at the top of the form, it says part 1. And then, so that was filled out by the applicant. We flipped to part 2. You see that?
Yep.
There's a list of 11 questions. Okay, number 1, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulation?
No.
No.
Number 2, will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land?
No,
Number 3, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
no,
4, will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area? 5, will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway?
No.
6, will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and fail to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
No.
Number 7, will the proposed action impact existing private or public water supplies?
Existing? I don't believe so.
Okay. Or private or public wastewater treatment utilities?
No.
Okay, 8 is, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
No.
9, will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources?
No.
10, will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
No.
And 11, will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
Okay. So, right, so if you move on to part 3, you'll see, at the bottom of the form, there are 2 boxes to check. And the first box is if the board has determined that, there's a large or significant adverse impact and the applicant has to prepare an environmental impact statement. The second box is a negative declaration, meaning that there will be no significant adverse environmental impacts. Second one. Okay, so with that, then there would be a motion to issue a negative declaration under seeker for the Contento application.
So make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
aye,
Right.
Okay, and then we move on now to the there's a resolution in your packets. Alright. And, this resolution,
The resolution's right on the top right.
did you get to the top?
I have an extra one if you need
I
one.
do, thanks, Don. Oh, we got it all.
So, this resolution, references the various different, provisions of the junkyard license and, states that those provisions have been reviewed and that the applicant has met the standards for a junkyard license. you want me to read the resolution?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll go through it quickly. So, whereas the town of Maine regulates junkyards through a licensing program governed by chapter 303 of the Maine Code, whereas Lance Acres LLC has been issued a junkyard license under chapter 303 to operate a junkyard at 230 Tyona Road, whereas Contento Auto Sales now seeks to purchase the property and continue to operate a junkyard from said property, whereas Contento has applied for a junkyard license under chapter 303, whereas under 303-4G, a license is personal to the applicant and not assignable, and the town board must make findings as to whether the Contento application should be granted. Whereas 303-4K, the location of junkyards already legally established and properly licensed shall be considered approved by the town board where located. However, the applicant shall be required to satisfy the applicable requirements set forth in chapter 303. And then the next whereas clause is just that there's negative declaration issued, no significant environmental impacts. And whereas chapter 303-4, the town board hereby finds that Contento has met the requirements for the operation and maintenance of a junkyard at the property, including but not limited to section 303-4D, license requirements, 303-4E and K, location requirement, 303-4F, aesthetic considerations, and 303-4I, fencing. Now therefore, the town board of the town of Maine hereby grants a junkyard license under 303-4G to Contento Auto Sales for the operation and maintenance of a junkyard at 230 Tyona Road. And the resolution takes effect immediately. So that's what you'd be voting on, that it meets the standards of the code for the issuance of a junkyard license.
So, motion.
Need a motion to approve the resolution, yeah.
I make them, whatever.
I make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. The Cadentos look forward to having their business here in Maine and being a good neighbor in the community. And sir, if you want to come out, we can, if you want, we can exchange some contact information with you. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the August 19th, 2025 town board meeting minutes.
Aye.
Make a motion to approval of September 2nd, 2025 town board meeting minutes.
Aye.
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 Carried. Motion to approve the August clerk's report.
Second.
Aye.
And a motion to approve the September audited bills.
Second.
Aye.
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 Make a motion to appoint Joseph Cook to the 6-year position of assessor, October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2031.
Second.
Aye.
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 And motion to approve Scott Bolts to the 5-year position of assessment board, October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2030.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Brings us to open floor. James went outside. Phil Childs,
I'll pass.
Bob Utter.
Just a couple questions. You heard anything from the IDA or anybody associated with the IDA? No, no meeting scheduled?
Nothing scheduled.
Okay, all right, I have some stuff I wanna talk about, but I'll wait talk to you separately,
Fair enough.
okay?
If you want it, you can always call and make an appointment, I'd speak with you anytime. All right. Then, next on the agenda, close the open floor and, schedule we're gonna change it to scheduling the public hearing for the budget, which will be, what date is it?
We said, October thirtieth,
October
which
thirtieth.
is a Thursday at 7 o'clock.
PM.
Oh, Thursday, huh?
What time?
Thursday at 7 o'clock?
Wait, why did we pick that?
7 PM.
What date is it?
Thursday, October thirtieth at 7 PM.
Okay, may I say something? I'm out on the open floor. I would like to see, my personal opinion, I would like to forego any raises this year and put the money into Rob's budget to fix the roads. The roads haven't been really done good in a long time, and they're falling apart. The edges are all coming off. There's no shoulders, and it's just my opinion, but I think he needs that in his budget for the repairing of the roads.
So we have to take a vote on that.
So wait, I'm sorry, I don't have it in my notes that we decided on the 30th. Was that the meeting that I missed, this last meeting?
No.
I think we're just doing that tonight.
Yeah, we're doing that tonight.
Oh, okay.
So, you didn't miss anything.
Okay, let me just make sure that I can do that night. I mean, I really wanna be here for the budget stuff. Right, or is this just the voting?
This is just a vote on the budget.
The public
On
hearing.
The public hearing and probably the
Vote
vote
on
after
the
that.
budget after the public hearing.
Yeah, cause the other meeting will be before that.
Yeah, we'll have a workshop on the 7th.
Right, I have the workshop on there on the 7th at 7, right?
And then we have a board meeting on the 21st.
Yep. Okay, and then you wanna have a public hearing on the 30th at what time?
7 PM.
But it will just be the vote at that point.
Yep.
So if I can't make it, we still have enough people to vote it in.
Yep, correct.
Okay. Okay,
I'd like to make a motion to schedule a public hearing for the budget on October 30th at 7 PM.
Second.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
And brings us reports. Robbie.
Just trying to get what we can done before the snow flies. Still struggling with 2 guys, so we're a little behind. So doing what we can.
Karen,
No. I'm not I don't really have all my ducks in a row to do what I need to do, but thank you.
As far as reports go, Art and I met with Josh Riley.
Okay.
To discuss the NICEAG issues with right of ways and bill hikes, et cetera. I thought it was a good meeting. Art, what did you think? What do you walk away? How did you feel about it?
Oh, it's good. He spent more time with us than I think they originally planned on.
Definitely,
It was good.
definitely. We had quite a few topics we discussed, and, then I see him all over the news talking the same as he did with us. So I think it's gonna go somewhere. I really do. I think he's gonna try to help us out with nothing else with right of ways, and, he's definitely looking into these smart meters and the crazy bills with them. For sure. That's about all I really got.
Thanks for that, though, meeting.
It was a good meeting. Good call.
Yeah. So again, as Craig said, him and I met with Congressman Riley, back on, September 6th at the Solid Ground Cafe. Is
I
that,
believe so.
out on Cherry Valley Hill Road, in the town of Nanaco. Real nice place, if you guys get a chance to go out there for some of their concerts and stuff like that. it'd be well worth it. I wanna thank the owners of that, evidently, some of the congressman's staff didn't realize that they're only open for events. So when we showed up, they graciously opened the doors to us, let us come in, sit down, have a meeting. They made lattes, I think they were lattes or whatever they were. I don't know what they were great.
Coffee flavored, you know, it wasn't bad.
It was good, it was good.
That's a nice place.
Yeah, it is, and the people were very gracious to allow us to come in and everything like that, they were super, so you guys get a chance to get out there, see them, it's well worth it, very, very nice people. So some of the things we discussed, like Craig brought up, so many issues with right-of-ways and everything like that, things that were promised to residents in certain areas that NICEAG never came through with, some rerouting of the power lines to prevent power outages, specifically for section Edson Road, where they gotta cross the swamp and everything like that. And then one of the issues that we discussed was the fact that the substation over here in Maine,
Is there a floodplain?
it's in floodplain, at least, and they've had issues with water in the past. And we talked about the easements, the biggest thing that I hit on was the tree trimming. Because when we had the power outages back with the storms that came through, July 4th weekend, I actually stopped in to check on Ernie, up at his road there, and there was a dead spruce tree broken off in half. And the thing that prevented it from hitting the ground was the electrical wires that were holding it up. And I told the congressman that's absolutely unacceptable. It's been probably 15 years when NICEAG has come down through and maintained the lines in our town. Matter of fact, I reiterated on some of the things that I said at the last board meeting to the congressman about how when NICEAG was purchased from Iberdrola, they basically got rid of their line maintenance crews. And that was a cost-saving measure for Iberdrola, so they could quickly recover the money they spent on purchasing NICEAG. So one thing I'm happy to say, I don't know if this was a result of our meeting or what, but I had a notice on my door this week from NICEAG.
Did not know.
Yep, and that they said they were sorry they missed me, but they would be doing tree trimming activities up. They're on. I talked to the gentleman. His name is Bobby from Nelson. They're a subcontractor that does line maintenance for NICEAG. He said they're down on Struble Road right now. They're gonna start working up farm to market and starting to move their way down into town. So I'm gonna follow up with the congressman on that and see exactly, you know, one, if he knows anything about it, and two, I wanna make sure that they work their way through the town, weather permitting, to take care of so many areas that are much worse than where I am, but you know, they gotta start someplace, and they're in, I know right now, they're gonna start moving into the town of Maine. So as I know more about that, I'll let you guys know. We talked about the rates, the electrical rates and the bills, and how the largest portion of the bills or the prices going up is based on, not on the electrical supply, but the delivery charges. And how, in my opinion, what they're doing is they're charging us to build new infrastructure for these solar fields. And that's what I've been told by several people very closely associated with those things. Talking about having to opt out on smart meters, that if they were such a great thing, people would be tripping over themselves to opt in. And the fact that you have to opt out and then you're penalized for opting out, $14.83 a month, on top of your already high electrical bill for maintaining what you've had for as long as you've had it. So that wasn't a good thing.
Thank you.
The other thing too, I spoke to Congressman about substandard equipment. So one of the things that happened several years ago in a thunderstorm, the transformer in front of our house got a power surge and blew. And the guys that came up to fix it, and they said, "Oh, congratulations, Mr. Robbins, we figured out what the problem is. We have good news and bad news." So the good news is that your transformer, we're gonna get fixed here in an hour. The bad news is we're gonna replace it with one that's nowhere near as good as the one we're taking out. And I asked him to explain it, and the guy said, well, it's simple. The one that you have is, all the wiring is copper. All the new transformers are aluminum. Yours lasted 30-some years. You'll be lucky to get 10 to 12 out of this one. So that's so they're maintaining the grid with substandard equipment compared to what they used to use. In my opinion, to maintain the lie that the grid's gonna fail, we have to go to renewable energy, blah, 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 because they are intentionally neglecting maintenance and installing substandard equipment. He said he would look into that. We talked about, there's a bill that he is going to advance in Congress on non-American owned companies,
Utilities.
yeah, utilities, yeah, non-American owned, utility companies in this country, because Iberdrola is owned by, Iberdrola owns NYSEG, and they are, from the socialist country of Spain. So that he feels that it's not right that foreign-owned entities own our utilities in this country. So I haven't seen anything on where that bill's going, but I will keep up with him on that. We discussed lithium batteries and the issues that we have with those, and specifically our moratorium on battery energy storage facilities in the town. How that basically a small town like ours isn't prepared to protect facilities like that for existing fire protection equipment. I talked about some areas of why they're taking up farmland to put these solar fields on. You know, there's farmland that could be better used for production of food versus solar panels, and he said he would look into that as well. One other thing we discussed briefly was the Industrial Development Agency's project here in the town. And basically I told him, I said, they are trying to ram it down our throat. They have lied to us, they have withheld information from us, they have talked to everybody else around here except us, how they violated the terms of seeker, and all the stuff that they've done. And again, he said he would like to speak with us a little bit more on that. And, you know, and he wants to just keep an open dialogue on it, to see how it's progressing. I told him we'd let him know. Other than that, I think that was it from me.
His biggest complaint was the negligence, well, I wanna say lack of, things happening here, lack of maintenance, et cetera. And what do you say, $400 million just got sent to Spain? Not a profit share type of thing, not their profit. If they're gonna send $400 million to Spain, they can spend $1 million here, you know what I mean, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Take it off our bills.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You know?
Oh yeah, so the other thing too is I was showing them, NYSEG sent out these home energy audit things. I don't know if you guys get these home energy report. And I showed them one of the ones that I had where it showed that my house compared to an efficient home, I only use 6 kilowatt hours more than an efficient home. But then at the same time the following year, at the exact same time with nothing else changed in my house. Is this the one? Yeah. They said an energy efficient home was 113 kilowatt hours. Exact same time, exact same house, but now mine is 777. 7 times more. Nothing's changed in my house. These things are a fraud.
Yeah, they are.
They don't mean anything. But yet, this is the justification of going to green energy and energy efficiency and everything like that, which is absolute complete garbage. And he said, yeah, that does not look like an accurate representation. I said, the other thing too is they don't know what to use my power for. I have no idea. And the biggest thing is he was very, when I told him the reason why the smart meters have been installed, it's not to save energy, it's so nice I can charge market rate pricing based on the power that you're using, which amounts to an unregulated, unapproved rate increase for every kilowatt hour that you guys use depending on the time that you use it. And he indicated that that was something he was gonna look into, so I think that wraps, unless you got anything else.
No, I can show you a house that's, what is it, 630 square feet, that's big. And on the budget, the electric bill was $128 a month-ish, give or take. They put a smart meter on it, now I understand we've got a rate increase, but it went, between $450 and $650 a month. Kinda hard for people to pay those bills. So, they changed the name on that electric, service. Demanded that the smart meter goes away. Now they're paying about $200 a month. Interesting, isn't it?
Right in your face.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
Ernie, you have any?
Oh, sure. I just want to tell everyone about natural gas line. There was one meter that was turned on and as a commercial. So now we're up to 4. We're not making that much progress. One of the things I am concerned about is the New York State Assembly and the Senate passed a bill. It's A as in Adam, 8888. And it's the 100-foot rule to do with natural gas, which requires New Yorkers to subsidize utility companies and pay for new gas pipes and pipelines. And the governor has to sign it now. And I reached out to Assemblyman Donna Lopardo's office, which I wasn't happy with her, but aside from that, and she advised the governor hasn't signed the bill yet, so that's good news. What I'm planning on doing is, I've already have a call into NYSEG to ask them, what are they gonna do once this bill gets passed? What effect is that gonna have on the gas line in our town if people wanna hook up, based on the old law? So I'm gonna ask them how to do that, follow up with it, and I'll bring, hopefully some information forward, what we can do. And that's all I have.
We have to make a motion to, go into executive session to, discuss collective bargaining.
For collective bargaining under the family law.
So I'd like to make a motion.
Second.
Aye.
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 That wasn't Bob posted up there on your thing, was it? Bob,
Yes.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I live on Bartel.
Okay.
Thank you guys for coming, cleaning out the ditches, appreciate it.
Fine, I got it.
Okay. A few years back, you guys were plowing, one of the big trucks came up, and you cleared off on right in the ditch in front of my house. Put that big triaxle right on the side. And then, that winter, the fire department responded to an ambulance call at the top of the hill at Halls. On the way down, the road was ice, and they slid off and landed on the other side, and had to get on Bartel.
Which house?
Mine's 46.
Been a lot of,
Okay, so if you're going up.
It's right in front of the house. The ditch now is 3 feet deep, 4 feet wide.
hey,
How's the kid doing
Is
at
there
school?
any chance we can get some
good.
house?
I think I would struggle with it more
I
than he
don't
does.
have to look at it. Are you on the right side
I'm
or
on the right side.
right before the steep hill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a
Where
red
the
garage,
sailboat
there's a
is
red
there?
garage there, a brick red house.
Okay, yeah, I think I know where you are.
And,
Yeah, I'd have to look in there and see.
yeah, I work with Danny Work a lot. I could probably get some Probably getting him to drop a load off. I just something where,
Okay.
Yeah, I got some other spots I wanna do that.
Longer there?
Hoping to get, I was gonna get some good material from the landfill.
So,
Some big shale, big rock,
right,
but it's a time you just need to pan out, and I'm still planning on
what's
getting
the
there
word,
some
Phil?
point. but
there's
I,
anything you
you
can
know,
do.
yeah, I probably won't.
You got a
get to
meeting this
fall.
month?
Okay.
Environmental meeting?
I think I got some
Joyce, are you
guys
gonna post the environmental meeting?
finally, so.